An update on the Steubenville rape case, and of course it's the rape case that Anonymous has gotten involved in. Two football players at Steubenville High School have been charged with rape, but the reason why Anonymous got involved is because the rape of this 16-year-old girl basically resulted in these two individuals who allegedly raped her from being charged as adults and then having those charges dropped to a juvenile case. And also, they were originally also charged with kidnapping, but that was also dropped. There were other members of the football team who were allegedly involved in this rape. However, they had no charges filed against them.
So Anonymous is mad at the leniency with which they were treated.
Yes, there was significant leniency with the way that football players were treated. And by the way, apparently it's commonly known in that area or in that high school that these football players are referred to as the rape crew.
Okay.
So Anonymous is revealing a lot of this, and the reason why I'm bringing the story back up today is because they released a pretty devastating video just today that features a former baseball player at the high school, Michael Nodanios, and basically in this 12-minute long video, he admits to what happened that night where the 16-year-old was sexually assaulted and raped repeatedly by several members of the football team. Let's take a little look at a snippet of the video.
How dry is it?
I'll leave Saturday.
It's so dry that if you try to take a sip from it, you die. If you needed water, you'd be shit out of water.
That's how I'm with Trent all the time now.
Bro, you raped a girl.
I knew Trent forever. No.
Trent raped.
All that shit's down the drain.
Trent and Malik raped someone.
Trent fucking edited them all. Trent
oh my god. You thought it was bad when that girl got raped at Palooza. This is worse. It's a dead body.
No, this is not like funny. Like, yeah,
it's hilarious.
I'm sorry, but Nody's funny.
Yeah, I mean,
it isn't funny. It's hilarious.
Nody's funny. That's not funny. I'm not lying. This is funny.
What if that was your daughter?
But it isn't. If that was my daughter, I wouldn't care.
So the video, I mean, I showed you guys the tamest part of the video. He goes on to talk about how he did it as well. He talks about how dead she was, referring to how unconscious she was as she was being raped. He talks about how she was peed on. I mean, just the most hideous things you could imagine.
Sodomized.
And so, yeah, sodomized. It was just disgusting. And I'm bringing this up because I know that there's been a lot of criticism over the way that Anonymous has handled this or over the way that Anonymous is getting involved. But again, people have been pushed to their limits at this point, and they're frustrated with the lack of justice. And when you see a video like that, that video wasn't public. You know, and if you look at the case, the local law enforcement, the prosecutor who was involved in the case, I mean, there's so much bias in favor of the football players because in Steubenville, the Steubenville High School football team is the best thing in that area. You know, it's their escapism.
Right, and that's what they think is their, you know, their release, if you will, like, and their heroes, et cetera, at the local level, and that's why they didn't want to do anything about it. Look, this is why transparency is so important. Whether it's WikiLeaks, whether it's Anonymous, whether it's actual good reporters, however many of those are left in the country, you need transparency in how government handles things, otherwise people abuse it. So, you know, and again, as we covered there, I thought they had gone a little over the line, but overall, I support their effort to shine a light on what's happening here because they were going to get away with a lot of this stuff and until people became more outraged. And like, did they know it? I mean, like, that's why the name of the guys being the rape crew is so important to the story because it's not like there wasn't a lot of people that already knew. They knew what was going on. And then but they kept it hidden and they kept it. So when I remember when we first read the story, did we know that she'd been sodomized and peed on and all these terrible things that had happened to her when she was near dead, unconscious, as they now explain? They didn't frame it that way, right? It was, oh, she had drank too much.
She's underage.
And, you know, and things happened that maybe shouldn't have happened. Well, that's a different framing than somebody who was nearly was so unconscious that the people who raped her thought she looked like she was dead, and they sodomized her anyway and then urinated on her, etc. Well, that makes you think perhaps they should have been charged as adults, or even if you don't believe that on principle, perhaps, you know, the other people involved. And again, this is all a matter of, I got no problem with the legal system saying, hey, those guys should be charged this way, or these guys shouldn't be charged based on what is reality, okay? But when you try to cover it up overall, as has happened time and time again, and it seems to have happened to some degree here, that's what makes people so mad.
Yeah, I think shining a light is the most important thing that Anonymous is doing right now, and NightSec, which is a part of Anonymous, especially because how severe the rape was. It wasn't like it just happened, and I'm not trying to belittle incidents where it happens once, but these guys literally took her from one party to another while she was completely passed out, and allowed others to sexually assault her. And to know that you can have that kind of mentality where it's okay to treat a woman like that or a girl like that, and then you brag about it on tape as if it's a joke. I mean, it's a 12-minute long video, and he has absolutely no remorse, and it's disgusting.
And the people who do that are the ones that they think they're above the law. And they think that because they've been taught their whole lives, if you do this, play football, play baseball, whatever, we're going to let you get away with X, Y, and Z. And now Anonymous is saying, well, not on our watch. And on our watch, we're going to let people know what you did and see how smug you are then.